When you hear the word Africa, what comes to mind?
Home. We need to find our identity as Africans and Zimbabweans. It took me a year on this particular restaurant. It took me a year.
A year?
For people to start saying, okay, now the numbers are increasing.
For years, people have looked down upon rural life, but now things are changing. Today, I spent the day with a young man who created his own opportunity by building a traditional restaurant located deep in the rural areas of Zimbabwe.
So you're still doing roadrunner business?
I've actually expanded.
We are talking about a restaurant located in the rural. Is this kind of business lucrative?
So the only way is to make it look sexy and appealing to the youngsters.
Guys, look at this. This is diaspora community. Diaspora community, listen to me. This is what we have been preaching, me and Kundai, for years. And I'm happy that they are pioneers. People like Terry are pioneers to this whole rural life aspect. It's doable. It's doable. Imagine he has 9 units here, and people are driving all the way from the capital city of Zimbabwe to stay in the rural areas. People are now going back to their roots. People are driving to come to rural life to eat a road run. A road run. Eh? They are living their expensive lifestyle to come and stay in the rural areas. That is to tell you something. That is to tell you something. If there is a time that people should go back to their roots, to their rural areas, it's now. We all might not be like Terry in terms of the business model, but where you come from, your rural area, exactly where you come from, you can build something like this for yourself. When you're staying in the rural areas, it doesn't mean that you have to suffer. There is now Starlink. Everything. People are drilling boreholes at a cheaper price. Solar systems are everywhere. Get in touch with Logos. If you need a solar system, if you're watching this video and you don't have a solar system at your rural area, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's now easy to get a solar system. Just get in touch with the Logos and they'll help you. Today, look at him, he's wearing manyatira. Dara, you're wearing manyatira. You're simple like this. What made you to choose this kind of lifestyle, my brother?
I didn't choose.
Yeah.
This is who I am. So you don't choose your identity.
Huh?
That's who I am. So
when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at someone who now has an established business. Did you get this idea from someone else or you just started?
So the idea when I was growing up was to change this negative picture about the rural areas. So when the opportunity presented itself to try something that brings people to the rural areas, I had to go for it. So it's an honor, it's a blessing that I managed to create something in the rural area where I grew up. So trying to change what people think as backward and now coming to experience that authentic rural experience deep inside the village.
Yeah, because when people are looking at rural life, they say it's a backward life. But I'm happy now that you are far from Harare and people are finding their way here to eat Sadzarezio, bro.
So everyone in the rural areas wants to go to town. So we are trying to reverse that so that people can drive from Harare to the rural areas. You see, we are even hosting foreigners. So when they come to Zimbabwe, when they want an authentic rural experience, they choose us. So it's something that gives me so much joy.
You created a market yourself. There was no market. Honestly, that is why I wanted to ask you, like, when you started, did you see like, there is a market there is a gap, or it was your lifestyle? You just said, I'm living this lifestyle.
I can't say there was a market.
Yes.
It's something that I had to try. The only thing that I needed was just fully convincing myself that this can be possible.
Wow.
So fortunately it worked out. So I had to go for it, take the risk.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy. But fortunately, we are here and people are coming, and it's a plus.
Were you going to work when you started, or?
No, I was a full-time chicken farmer, full-time roadrunner farmer. When
roadrunner.
Yeah, so when I had to put value, or rather value addition to my products, it was going to be through a restaurant. So horticulture, you put value at the restaurant.
Yeah.
The goat farming side, you put value on the restaurant. So the restaurant had to be like at the top, or rather at the center of everything that I do in farming.
So you're still doing roadrunner business?
I've actually expanded.
Bro.
Yeah, so everything is going on. But before we look at selling to the other markets, we sell to ourselves at the restaurant. So
wait.
that we keep things going.
I interviewed the roadrunner farmer, my last video, and people were saying roadrunner business is a scam. Do you think that it's a scam?
Yes, no. Yeah, so the thing is, you're supposed to sell roadrunner in a price almost similar to the broiler, but yet you'll be keeping them for like 6-7 months organically. So you won't realize any profit if you are not clever enough. So for me, the only way to put that extra dollar was through a restaurant.
So now you're selling roadrunners to yourself?
I'm selling the roadrunners to Kwatiri. I'm selling to Kwatiri.
How many chickens do you have right now?
Right now, we don't know. We're just keeping them. My days are tighter for selling to the market, the day-old chicks, and the other ones want for meat. That's when we're keeping the numbers. And now we're just keeping birds for the restaurant.
What are we supposed to do to change our mindset towards rural life?
We need to find our identity as Africans, as Zimbabweans. Our identity is rooted in the rural areas. So the only way is to make it look sexy and appealing to the youngsters. As soon as we do that, we will make sure everyone in the rural areas feels proud of their real identity. When we go to town, there is a kind of lifestyle that is common there. That's why you see the other section of Amatuke, they don't appreciate when they're eating madora. But they would rather choose seafood. Why? Because that's what they are told it's modern. So it's an identity crisis that we need to solve. If you're looking at the rural life and make it look simple, appealing, and rather sexy to the youths, we'll definitely hit the niche that we want.
So this is now your business?
This is my full-time job.
And
I wake up every morning to go Kumunda, then come back to the restaurant. That's my day-to-day life, and I'm proud of it. If I'm to choose another job again, I'll still choose Kwatiri.
Is it lucrative?
Yes.
Can someone start something like this and make money from it?
Yes, I believe if someone can start anything, there's a market for every little thing out there. So for us, we have people who are appreciating the authentic rural life. Not a traditional restaurant. A traditional rural restaurant. So there's a difference.
There's a difference
between a traditional restaurant and a traditional rural restaurant. So there are people who appreciate this natural breeze. The natural sounds, dogs, mombe, surrounded by the natural environment. There are people who appreciate that.
If you ever reached a level where you said, I'm giving up?
In my mind sometimes, when I was starting, yes, you tell yourself probably this cannot work. But trust me, I'm one person who doesn't give up easily. So one thing that I do, I like convincing myself first before I share the idea to you. So whenever you try to downplay my idea, you won't win.
You've already convinced yourself
I've
that
already
it's doable.
convinced myself that this thing I can do, and I've already have a plan B solution to that. So if this doesn't work, I'll try this. So It might not work out today or in the next 2 years, but I know it will definitely work out. It took me a year on this particular restaurant. It took me a year.
A year?
For people to start saying, okay, now the numbers are increasing. We could go maybe a week without even getting one customer. But we still tried to push, and here we are. Some weeks are better than others, but the numbers are still okay. So one thing about us, me and my team, we appreciate even one person who drives in to eat food here per day. So whatever that we get, we are okay with that.
You're okay?
Yes, very much. We are okay with one person who comes a day, because the distance is too far from the urban areas. So sometimes we see we have lots of numbers here, and that's a plus. If you can get 2 people, 5 people, that's okay with us. We work with that.
I've seen you travel outside the country because of this. What would you be doing out there?
We are trying to replicate this model across Africa.
Yeah?
Yes, not myself, other people. So it's just a conversation with other progressive youths from other countries. So it's just discussing about how we can improve the marginalized communities. To be specific, rural areas. So how then do we increase the village economy? So how do you improve village economy? So this is one model that we can replicate in different rural communities across Africa. Wow. So if you can do that, yes, that means you don't only change the village economy, but the mindset. Because people in the rural areas think, for you to make it, you have to move to a town.
Yes.
So what also needs to be changed is the mindset. Wow. So here, there are people now who are convinced that if we rear our road runners, we will sell them at Kwatiri. They no longer need to go and look for employment. I'm not saying people shouldn't look for employment, but I'm saying what needs to be changed in the rural areas is the mindset. So that's the conversation that will just be spreading across with other youths that also believe in changing the picture in the rural areas.
When you hear the word Africa, what comes to mind?
Home and pride. So for me, I feel very much comfortable when I'm even in another country outside Zimbabwe.
Hey.
And the same zeal and enthusiasm that I have for my country, the same zeal that I'll be having in that country, just to make sure we change the picture. Because when you go outside Africa, they don't paint the negative picture about Zimbabwe, but they paint about Africa.
In general, the
so
whole
you
of
defend the badge of your home, which is the motherland, Africa.
What is wrong with us as young people? The reason why I'm asking, we think highly of the Western countries and we think low of ourselves here in Africa.
Identity crisis. Yes.
How can you fix that?
Mindset. So what you need to do is the mindset. It's just maybe a simple method like littering, throwing papers everywhere.
Yeah.
If you change that and I change that, we have sorted everything. So what needs to be worked on is the mindset. What is it telling you about your country, about your continent, Africa? So
yeah,
that's the solution.
So you think that there is an opportunity here in the rural areas?
A big one. What you just need to do is appreciating the baby steps, and probably knowing that it might not turn out positive tomorrow morning. There are no quick solutions to these things. That's why you see me sharing every little step that I take online. It's for those people like me who are also doing those baby steps, for us to know that, okay, guys, we might not reach where we want to go in the next 2 years. It could be 10, it could be 5. I know it's tiring, especially in this day and era where you will be competing subconsciously with your peers. So you might not even have that patience enough to wait for 5 years to reach your goal. That's the big challenge. So the mindset needs to be worked on.
I see now that there is accommodation here.
Yes. So we are trying to offer something unique for ourselves. Slowly, we have so many offerings that are coming at this place. We're doing step by step so that we don't suffocate ourselves. But accommodation was probably my biggest offering so far. I loved working on it, and also the fact that I was actually there on the ground, hands-on with my team. It was an amazing thing when we said, guys, okay, I think now it's finally time we let the people know what we were working on for the past, maybe we did that like 5 months. It was a job that was done quick because we were targeting the busy season. So we are trying to give the whole experience. Now we are targeting to move on to the activities. What do people need to do when they come to the village? For now, when they come, they enjoy the traditional meals, which we are still trying to perfect. And then what do they need to do? Let them sleep, wake up tomorrow to the sounds of Mombe and Buid in the village. Then we give you our traditional breakfast. You start your day in the village. What do we need to do more? We need to give them more things to do when they visit the village. So the experience has to be like holistic when you come to the village.
How many units do we have?
So far we're working with 10.
10?
Yeah, we are in the process of adding more.
You want to add more?
Yeah, we want to add more, but for now we have 10 units that we work with to give you the ultimate Mugwazwangu experience, Baba.
What does the word Mugwazwangu? I'm seeing the word everywhere. What does it mean?
Some other time.
That's your homework, guys. But I want to talk about something before we go inside. So now, we're not looking at this unit. I saw lights. I saw water coming out of it. How did you do it? So there's water.
Yeah, we have clean bore water and maggots, proper stuff. Yeah, so no need to worry about that.
Guys, come in.
All sorted.
There is a bed here and there is shower and toilet inside. This is what Terry did here in the rural areas. And I want to talk about the art. You said that there is a young man who's doing this kind of art here.
From village 6.
Yeah? Rural.
I know Rural is a serious guy.
Guys, look at the art.
In 5 years from now, we see ourselves as a big name.
You're not playing, eh?
We don't know, Kuti, are we going to be here or are we going to expand out there? Or if we're expanding, are we going to expand with the same name? Or maybe in 5 years, we'll still be here, but maybe as a very big brand. But to be honest with you, we just enjoy every day. That's all I can say. We enjoy our day-to-day activities. We don't want to plan more. We don't want to give ourselves unnecessary pressure. We are enjoying each step as it goes. We are appreciating what the people are giving us back.
Because when people are looking at you now, for me, I would say you are now well established. Was there anyone who helped you to be where you are?
Yes, Zimbabweans. They helped us. Trust me. Of course, along the way, you meet good people that obviously give you a hand. That we can't run away from it. But above all, the general people of Zimbabwe, their support is the one that drives us every day.
How was life before this, all of this? Did you have like a proper direction, said this is what I wanted to do?
No, I was just a farmer who was enjoying farming. But then each day gives you a different perspective about life.
Did you go to school?
Yes, I went to school. I attained some degrees and I am.
What kind of a degree did you do? You have a degree?
Yes, I have a degree, but it's not important now. I'm a farmer and a rural boy.
The village boy is educated and he is here. Here in the village. What did you see that other people are not seeing in the village, my bro? Because I'm failing to understand.
I'm just trying. A lot of people are trying, but in different avenues. But I decided to try in the rural areas. And fortunately, it's showing signs of working out properly.
It's really interesting. I want to show you around. I want to show you how everything is changing here in Zimbabwe in terms of rural tourism. There was a time that when people were looking at rural life, there was nothing to see, there was nothing to enjoy. But agritourism and rural tourism is changing now. People like Terry, they are improving the economy in the rural life. You could see that Terry, as a businessman, he did spend a lot of money here, building structures like this. So for him, this is an investment, this is a business. Other people, when they're looking at rural life, there is nothing to invest. But when Terry is looking at a bare ground in the rural life, he sees an opportunity. A young man, Terry, went on to create a market for himself.